and the special general meeting minutes. So we just, oh, Barbara, you're happy to do that. And seconder, Adrian. Thank you very much. So we'll start with our reports. I'm speaking as the president. I've been vice president to president, so I'm speaking as the president tonight. Then we'll have the end of year financial report, the finalising of the Ashby project with Bob and Simon, and other bits and pieces, so the LA and IST. So I'll start with my little, rather long, but we'll try and make it a bit of fun. It's called on President's Report because we've achieved a lot this year. So I hope you'll all enjoy hearing what we've been able to achieve this year. So hello beekeepers, my presidential report for 2025 of the Beekeepers Society of South Australia. Well, I, for one, did not expect to be here, but here I am again. So I've been vice president twice, and I've ended up as president twice. So here I am again, delivering what I sincerely hope will be my last presidential report to you all. We have had quite a year, and I will endeavour to outline it here at the same time as keeping you all awake. So to make sure you're all still with me, every now and then I'll interrupt this report with a bee quiz question, and there will be prizes for the first correct answer. I'll have Sandra, who's at the back here, on the other mic as my quiz spot. Sandra, new to the committee this year, has developed into an active and thoughtful advocate for members. Thank you, Sandra. Wonderful. All right, the first question, you might need you up the front. Stop eating your cake, Sandra, and get look up here. I'll get my prizes ready. Now, this question is for women only. No, you'll get your turn. You'll get your turn. I thought I'd start with them. That's fair enough, isn't it? Right. First hand up. How many eyes do bees have? No. It's the right answer, I'll tell you. No, it's not two. No. 5. Yes. Yay! Well done. Well done. Your first line bag goes to you. Well done. Excellent. Now, next is the President's Report. What a year we have had. We began the year with a 12-member committee and have ended with 8. I would like to thank our committee personally for all their hard work and dedication to our society. Monica BSSA, as our elected president, brought an enormous amount of gusto, and we began the year with 7 subcommittees, all taking on important and necessary projects. Monica's vision and energy set the tone and the pace for the year, and while she's not here, we would like to thank her for her contribution, especially for soul and vision. She was you will give her that to her. I haven't finished yet. She was instrumental in maintaining the society's presence at SAMIAC, SAAA, and AIF, which is the A3 Industry Fund. Thank you, Aphrodite. Going forward, our society has the ability to represent our members' beekeeping concerns and values statewide. Thank you, Monica. Now you give it. Coming up with the voice question next. All right. Okay. You ready, Sandra? All right. Now I'm going to give you 4 vegetables and fruit: blueberries, tomatoes, pumpkins, and mushrooms. Men, which food is not pollinated by bees? Of those 4. No, tomatoes are. Who said mushrooms? Mushrooms. Who said mushrooms first? All right. Yes, mushrooms are not pollinated by bees. Blueberries, tomatoes, and pumpkins are. Well, you're not listening to the question properly. subcommittees. From last year's presidential report, 5 projects were listed as ongoing, and I'm so pleased to announce that 4 have been completed, along with the addition of the closing of the Ashton project, which Simon will speak about in the Treasurer's report. Let's begin with the Finance Subcommittee of Simon, our Treasurer, and Anna. They set to work and wrestled the Society's financial data into zero, which now means that our accounts are linked directly to our bank account and fully transparent. The subcommittee closed once their task was complete, and thank goodness, because one can only listen to reports on how the Society's financial system is progressing for so long. Sorry, Simon and Anna. Well done to Simon and Anna. Big clap. As gripping as finance is, the Constitution Handbook of Rules Subcommittee gave it a good run for its money. As you are all aware from our last meeting, this subcommittee worked tirelessly and thoroughly to bring the Society's Constitution and bylaws into 2025. This was an enormous project which required hours of work. Amanda Rossi led the team with Bob Beer, Adrian Marborowski, Grant Godley and Susan Roney to complete this task. Thank you, Amanda, Bob, Adrian, Grant and Susan. All right, the third question is for people with glasses only.
Slides.
All right. What is the only continent on Earth where bees are not found?
You've got them. Okay. Otherwise,
Yes,
I'll move
Antarctica it is. Well done.
Otherwise, worst case,
Well done.
if I've got BGA, you can present.
Right, times are changing, and we as a society realised that we needed a makeover. The Brand Refresh Subcommittee was formed to update and modernise the Society's image in order to stay relevant in a changing market. We were moving to a new membership database, and there'll be more on that later. It had been identified that now was the time to develop a set of conventions to ensure that we had continuity across all our publications. The Society now has a branded style guide to serve as a comprehensive reference that ensures consistency and coherence in how the Society is presented across various platforms and media. We want you to belong to a society that not only represents you as members in a professional and transparent manner, but one that also looks the bee's needs. Natalie Dixon headed the subcommittee of Kat Giblin and Amanda Rossi. Thank you, Natalie, Kat, and Amanda. Now, you only have to look at your phone's latest app to know which subcommittee is up next. The Membership Database Subcommittee. This change became necessary due to the increasing cost of wild apricot, our previous membership database, and the desire for the Society to ensure that members' information was held and secure in an Australian-based hosting system. This was by no means an easy project to complete, as it not only involved the moving, updating, and setting up of the Society's membership database, but also a new website. Whilst the majority of us here this evening cannot comprehend the amount of work required and level of knowledge needed for this transition, rest assured it has been completed with minimal expense, mind-blowing for those in the know. Member Jungle, our new membership database, and our new website and app are fully up and running. Yay. Thankfully, I don't have to do a waggle dance to direct you all to the new site, as it's already been done. This subcommittee was led by Simon Gerblick and consisted of Aphrodite, Natalie Dixon, and Pam Robertson. A big thank you to their dedication and expertise. Simon and Aphrodite, welcome back. Right, next question, Sandra. This is for the over 70s, so I have to trust you, to be honest. Now, it's quite an interesting question. Approximately, oh, no, yes, I'll do that. I'll just give you a few clues in a minute. Approximately how old is the oldest bee fossil? Is it 8,000 years old, 80,000 years old, 8 million years old, 80 million years old, or 100 million years old? Over 70s. Million is the answer. Lovely, thank you. And it was found in Myanmar. There we go, John. Well done. Will you cheat it?
Use the wrong them.
At this time, 3 subcommittees remain open with one of these in abeyance. The Education Subcommittee, headed by Monica, was busy for the first half of the year expanding and developing the curriculum for society's beginner and intermediate groups that a lot of you attended. Its members were Bob Beer, Kate Giblin, Archer Threatenton, Amanda Rossi, Trent Greenfield, Aphrodite Lockwood, and John Silverblade. Due to the amount of work the committee as a whole was undertaking, it was decided in May that the Education Subcommittee would be going to abeyance for the foreseeable future. However, as we all know, the Hive never sleeps, and our 2 training groups are currently being taken by John Silverblade and Aphrodite. We thank all the Education Subcommittee members and John and Aphrodite. Yeah. Being on a committee requires a great deal of commitment, at times more than one expects, so it is fully understandable when members resign. Not only did we lose our president, Monica, but also Peter New, Archer Treppleton, and Kat Giblin. Furthermore, we lost our website administrator, Natalie Dixon, over the year. We would like to thank Peter, Archer, Kat, and Natalie for their assistance to the society. Now, this question is for everybody, so you'll be watching out this time, Sandra. All right. How wide is the largest species of wingspan in a bee? Is it 6.4 centimetres, 3.6 centimetres, 1.7 centimetres, or 8.8 centimetres? You're right, it is 6.4. Well done, well done. And the bee is the Wallace's giant bee. Oh, yes, it is Indonesia. Yes, in Indonesia. It's the largest bee on Earth. It was believed to be extinct, but was rediscovered in 1981 in Indonesia. Have you seen one? Oh, you read about it. Well done. So it's 4 times the size of a European honeybee. And I was looking at it today and I thought, crikey, so they had the little bee and then they had this great big huge Wallace's bee, massive. So there are a few nests, but they haven't found them again for a while. So maybe that won't extinct again. Right. Our last 2 subcommittees remain open. The insurance subcommittee was instigated due to the increased cost of our members' insurance last year. This was unexpected and the society subsidised this increase to ensure members could all access insurance equitably. Unfortunately, this year it's proved another complex undertaking, and Bob will be filling members in a little later about the status of members' insurance. The subcommittee was headed by Peter Liu, with Bob Beer replacing Peter after his resignation. Other members included Barbara Chapman, John Bills, and Ollie LaCurvey. Thank you to Peter, Bob, Barbara, John, and Ollie. Now, we have finally arrived at our last subcommittee for the year, the Be Safe Health and Safety Subcommittee, headed by Amanda Rossi, with Sandra Turner and myself assisting. This subcommittee was initiated to manage the risks to health and safety of volunteers and participants associated with society's activities involving live bees. First aid officers have been trained. The training apiary has undergone a safety audit and a number of documents have been developed to ensure best practice when working with live bees. We thank Amanda, Sandra, and me. Right, this is for everybody. Sandra, you're right. Now, blue, red, yellow, green. What colour can bees not see of those 4? Amanda, yep, red, it is. They can't see red. So she can have a lovely day. Wonderful. Stand with me, we're on the Hivewood flight. Whilst all of the above are being done, whilst all of the above was being done, field days in our training apron were also run for our members. As always, these are exceptionally valuable events that allow you last page. Be keepers to test the waters and learn with hands-on experience. These hives need to be maintained and cared for just as your hives do. And Bob Bear, Adrian Neville, and Luke Robinson have ensured that the bees and the participants are happy. Further improvements have been made, and Amanda and I assisted Bob with some much needed apron maintenance. We put down some new carpet because the other carpet was getting very bulgy, wasn't it, Bob? So Bob, Adrian, Luke, Amanda, and Amanda for looking after the apron. A special mention here to Bob for not only managing the training apron but also supplying the society with honey. We attended the Meadows County Fair and the Honey Spring Fling, where we were able to sell honey and promote our society. Thank you to those who volunteered at the fair and the fling. In the spirit of fairs and flings, we are again a sponsor of the Royal Adelaide Show Committee. Now, this is the last question for our committee only. Beetle, ladybug, dragonfly, and spider. What insect commonly eats bees of those four? Beetle, ladybug, dragonfly, and spider. Which of these insects commonly eats bees? No. No.
Fly.
Everyone. Oh, committee people. Only our committee people. They're not very knowledgeable, are they? Sandra? You're right. Dragon. Only because it's the biggest. Well, you can have the last lawyers. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, committee member. Oh. You'll share. Good. You didn't put your hand up, Bob. No, you know the rules. Now, looking to my right, I see Sue and David Speck. Sue has been our librarian and done such a wonderful job of making sure that we have a wealth of current knowledge available to members. Alongside Sue, Aphrodite, Nuku, and Pam have been busy little bees working behind the scenes to ensure all our library books are now listed online. Aphrodite will demonstrate this feature of Member Jungle later in the meeting. So we've got something for Sue and David. David always comes along and does a great job. They love their natives, and so we'd like to thank Sue and David and present you with a lovely native for your garden. You're welcome. I think it's only worked out 12 years. 12 years. I wasn't sure how long it was. Yes, so it's been amazing. And Sue and David have been very passionate about their library, haven't you? And but now everything's going online, so you'll be able to, those of you who can do it, will be able to book your books up online before you come. Now, looking to my left, I see Simon and Guari. And all of you at home, because they do the streaming. For our main general meeting, we had a very successful live stream attendance of Stuart Anderson, co-inventor of the Flow Hive. Thanks to Simon and Guari. And for those of you who were here, it was fantastic. So good. And it's very positive for the future. Thank you, boys. Not only can we now stream speakers into our meetings, we can also stream and live streaming every general meeting for those who are unable to attend. We want to reach as many South Australian beekeepers as possible, and we are well on the road to achieving this with Simon and Guari's technical assistance. Thank you, Simon and Guari. Our general meetings require a small cluster of bees. I mean a small group of volunteers, to make sure you are all comfortable for the evening. Sandra Turner, Waldo Duplessis, and John Patterson come early to assist with the setup of the hall. Amanda Rossi and Anna Vanderbilt set up supper, and Barbara Chapman sets up the raffle. Amanda has over the year outdone herself with wonderful home-baked delights, which we have all thoroughly enjoyed. And Barbara's well-run raffle has resulted in many members taking home delightful items. Thank you, Sandra, Waldo, John, Amanda, Anna, and Barbara. Thank you. Now, the final break, everyone. Last but definitely not least, one well-deserved BSSA Life membership was bestowed on Barbara Forward for her contribution to Buzzword. Unfortunately, Buzzword ceased production, but back copies of these wonderful magazines are available online. And have you got them in the library too, Sue? In one of the lockers, so they might be, yes. The marble stuff used to be in those, didn't they? Phew, we've made it to the end, and I will close with a fun fact. This year's committee held 15 meetings with an average length of 3 hours, in addition to their subcommittee roles and general meeting duties. That is an outstanding effort, and I cannot thank them enough for all they have given to our society. Busy little bees is an understatement. And thank you to them all, when I look around, for supporting me throughout the year and for coming to our AGM. Thank you, everyone. Down and the Treasurer's end of year financial report. Who's doing that one? Stop doing that one.
I'll say why I'm leaving.
Hello, I'm not Simon. Simon's down. I'll be reading the Treasurer's report because, as Simon mentioned last year, he has Asperger's and it's preferred he doesn't read the report. I'll start now.
Just Anna,
Good evening to
Anna.
all beekeepers.
and Anna, just you might get feedback. So if you stand back on this,
Yeah? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, fellow beekeepers. This is a hard report to follow, but I will do my best to keep you engaged. As mentioned by Tricia, this year started with the Finance Subcommittee's commitment to the Xero transition from Excel. Xero is a cloud-based accounting software system. Whilst neither myself nor Anna had used Xero before, we worked together to get the opening balances from last year's profit and loss and balance sheet entered. Once this was achieved, Anna soon learned how to process transactions and reconcile the bank account, resulting in timely and accurate financial reports for the committee. These reports combine all of the society's income and expenses in a manner that allowed the committee to know exactly how it was tracking against the member-approved budget. Society income. Membership fee income is down by approximately 23% from the previous year due to the transition from Wild Apricot to Member Jungle occurring just before the time most members renewed their annual membership. However, July has seen this drop corrected as members gained access to the new system. Currently, we have 325 paid out members, on par with last year. Along with our usual method of raising funds, supper, raffle tickets, honey, and Hessian bag sales, we also raised funds by selling the recovered swarm boxes, sugar that had been donated by Raddock, and assets held by the Society at Ashton. The committee made the decision to sell the recovered swarm boxes as soon as possible, as holding assets is not in the best interest of the society. In about November last year, when many beekeepers were struggling to keep their bees going, a very timely donation of sugar in damaged packaging arrived at our door thanks to Tony Cooper at Radox. Again, the committee worked together to implement a plan with north and south pickup locations to ensure that this sugar was available for our members to purchase, with 3 consignments distributed to our members and 1 consignment being purchased by Clifford's Honey on Kangaroo Island. The Ashton Project. As you would all be aware, in 2021 the Society moved to set up a training facility at Ashton in the Adelaide Hills. With the best of intentions, items were purchased and plans were made to move this project forward. For a number of reasons, this project did not eventuate, and subsequently these items have been held at the Ashton Community Centre with the Society paying a monthly lease fee. This committee made a decision to close off this project and divest these assets. The committee worked quickly and transparently to ensure that our members would all have a fair opportunity to purchase these items. I am very pleased to inform you that this project is now closed and that the lease of the Ashton property has been ceased. We have now received back the Society's $750 bond. I would just like to highlight some lessons the committee learned from this experience that members should take on board. Please do not vote for something unless you have taken the time to fully understand what you are voting for. This project failed because the due diligence was not done and the appetite from members for this form of education was not there. This is your money and your society. Please take the time to be sceptical, ask questions, read information, and when in doubt, vote no. Make those that are moving motions do their homework. Even demand that all committee members quickly give their opinion to ensure you are informed. If a motion fails, all it means is that the mover has not clarified their position. They can go away and return with a more thorough proposal. Everything that happens in this society is driven by what happens here in the meeting. You control the society. Expenses. Our expenses tracked along as predicted in our membership approved budget. However, there was a significant increase in our membership database expenditure due to being subscribed to both databases, Wild Apricot and Member Jungle, for 6 months. This occurred due to the committee signing the agreement with Member Jungle prior to being prepared for the transition. All committee members are volunteers, and this transition required a number of people with the required expertise to be available to work together. Could this added expense have been avoided? Definitely. Like there are lessons for the membership to learn, there are also lessons for the committee to learn from this year's activity. Committee members must be allowed to speak up and air their concerns, and fellow committee members should accept, support and respect their views, especially when they have the expertise in a given field. Not doing so costs the society money and hampers the effective functioning of the committee. Hopefully the GoPro starts now being used for what it was mainly intended. Body cam footage of bee inspections to show other members afterwards. Assets. For a number of years, the Society's assets have been maintained in what can only be termed as a fast and loose manner. Anna took it upon herself to complete this register and ensure that all the Society's assets were accounted for. I am pleased to inform you that this has been completed and we now have a comprehensive asset register. Thank you, Anna. Further, 2 significant purchases were made during the year. The new Zoom video camera being used here now by Gaurav to record and live stream the new laptop to record the live stream, and a new laptop for the Stuart Anderson live stream at the May General Meeting, also being used here to run this meeting. I feel that whilst the year has been difficult with a number of complex and time-consuming projects to complete, The society as a whole is in a very good position to consolidate and grow. I am proud of the work we have achieved and the current position we are in. The year's financial reports are available on the Member Jungle app and on our website for our members. If you have any questions, please come to see me or Anna after the meeting. This concludes the Treasurer's 2025 report.
It's quite nice to be listening.
Thanks.
Right, are you up here now? Yes, and I think Simon's going to put it on screen too.
Or do you just want to read it out? You can just read it out. Okay.
The SAVAC report to us as a society has been written by Peter Mew. SAVAC was formed in November 2023 and was represented by 2 delegates from the BSSA. Monica and I have worked tirelessly on behalf of the society and attended some 23 meetings with the objective to slow the spread of Varroa and keep it out of South Australia for as long as possible. The development of the transition to management plan for the South Australian honeybee industry involved many hours of consultation and debate. When advising PIRSA and the Minister for Primary Industries, SAVAC's role was to provide advice to the Minister and PIRSA and has no authority in implementing the transition plan. The detail of the plan, as adopted, is available on the PIRSA Varroa website. I can assure you all that we've both stood our ground on key planning issues and its implementation. Our stance has ensured a workable transition plan to management, and to date has kept Varroa out of South Australia. We have endured at times pressure to open up the state borders to interstate beekeeping operations and maintain the original focus to slow the spread and keep Varroa out for as long as possible. At times, we have both endured verbal attention and have remained vocal at all times in standing our ground on behalf of the BSSA. I welcome Simon Gerbley as Monica's replacement, as it seems that SAVAC will be actively providing advice in the near future. We will endeavour to provide advice back to the BSSA on progress and outcomes. Signed off by Peter Mew. Thank you, Trish.
Simon, we want you to do the appointment of the accountant.
Yes, so there's.
So we have a new accountant this year, and I think this is the first time in about 3 years that we've had our all our finances up
Yes.
and done by the AGM. So that sounds like a good accountant, doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything, son?
Make sure that it's
Yeah.
back in.
So Alex Reid has today, just before about 5:30 this afternoon. So we've got the financial report back. So it's past the what's it called, Amanda? Annual financial review report. So that's I could probably try and show it on the screen. I haven't even had a chance to look at it yet. And he's agreed to continue on that next year and do the same.
Yes.
It's so do we have to move a motion? So we have to.
We do.
We
have to move a motion.
So move a motion to reappoint Alex Reid of Southerton's again.
For next year.
Yes,
to, as the accountant, to do the independent what's it
review.
called? Review.
So yes,
Yeah.
you're happy to
Yeah.
move that? Yes, Alex Reid on board again. Thank you. And seconder, Barbara? Lovely. Thank you. Wonderful.
Subscription.
We all voted.
Oh, we have to go through. Oh, we all. That's why I'm not president anymore. Because I get mixed up. Everybody in favour of having Alex Reid on board next year? I think that's lovely. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Subscription review. The family membership motion that the family membership fee be increased from $100 to $115 in line with the percentage increase previously applied to the general membership fee from 65 to 75. All right. Yes, so who's proposed that? Bob has proposed that, so you're going to talk for it? Okay. Seconded before you do it.
Okay, so the motion has been moved and seconded, moved by myself and seconded by Amanda. And as Trish just read out, it's quite simple in as much as subscriptions were increased as a result of a motion at the last AGM. And the subscriptions that were increased were those for the adult membership. And I think it was an oversight that the family membership part of the subscriptions was overlooked. So what I'm moving in this motion is that the family membership be increased at the same rate that the individual membership was increased 12 months ago. So where the individual membership went from 65 to 75, the family membership will go from, I think it's 100 to 115. And just to confirm or support that statement, I just read to you the motion that was in our last minutes of the last AGM. And the motion was that the members approved the increase of membership fees from $65 per annum to $75 per annum from the 1st of July 2025. And it is further recommended that these fees continue to be increased by CPI annually to ensure that the society remains financially viable in the future. And there was some work done by members in coming up with that increase at that time. And the logic of the work that was done was applied, and the increase was to the membership was appropriate. Ultimately, that motion was passed with a unanimously. So I have pleasure in moving that we do raise the family membership to $115 per year. No, it's not plus the CPI because it is only the increase of the dollar amount that was equal to the increase that occurred for the adult membership. And it was an increase of the adult membership by something like 17% at that time. I think we, as a management committee, have got to look at that motion and bring it into action in due time.
Can I just clarify that currently the only motion we're voting on is just that one increase now?
Yes.
Right.
The only thing we're voting on is the increase of the family membership to $115. Thank you.
Nan's just got off the plane from the UK a few hours ago, so she, so what she's going to say.
Could say anything. I'd just like to move a little amendment to this motion, just to add in a time frame to the end of it to say effective immediately, because it doesn't say when it will start. So may I move that amendment to put a time frame effective immediately at the end? Someone like to second that?
Yes, Adrian is seconding that. Right?
And then,
Are you going to talk
Yeah,
against it?
Yeah.
I didn't. I can see the reason for increasing it in line from the 65 to the 75. I guess my concern is, because I can see the membership numbers, and I'm concerned on why we've had about 50 members who used to renew every 1st of July, haven't renewed again, and I'm trying to work out if that's due to the $10 increase or the change on the website or something. And I wanted to try and work that out first. And so I thought that we could review the fees later. That there's no real financial need for it. So yeah, yes, it does make sense to increase it, like the other one. But yeah, and I've been looking a lot at the numbers. So there's about 350 members. Say there's about, so we're only representing 10% of South Australian beekeepers. The SAAA represents 1% or less than 1%. So there's 89%. So if we were to increase the membership, I'm just wondering what we can do to increase the membership to try and represent more South Australians. And I'm wondering if the membership fee is a barrier. So that's just my point of view. Otherwise, it's up to the members if they want the increase.
Okay, thank you, Simon. Anne?
I'm a bit concerned at increasing financial spending and the requirement to young people joining the BSSA coming along with their parents, because it's so times for families at the minute. Is that going to be just the thing that makes them decide not to?
So Anne was just saying she's worried about the increase affecting young families that want to come along, can't afford to come along. So that's another good point. Thank you, Anne. Look at Ivy. Oh.
The fees have not changed for 10 years previously, that is saying for the previous 10 years. And with all the increases that we all been subjected to over the last 5 years, that made the CPI much higher than the 4 or 3.5% that it normally was. We put that motion forward at the time that we put the motion forward because we recognised that it was such a long time between the membership fee being increased, and we were all trying to provide funding and resources for the society, and we felt that a once-off increase was appropriate, and then CPI would mean that it would only increase by whatever the CPI is, which would be much less than $10. So in other words, the fees are not going to go up $10 every year or $15 for family every year, just what the CPI is, which might be 2 or 3 or 3.4%. Okay, oh, okay. Yep.
Can someone just say how many family memberships the club currently has? So how many people will this apply to?
I think it's about 45. Is it
45.
45? I think. Yeah, I can check.
45 family memberships or 45 people?
45 family memberships. I'll just double check.
Adrian?
Hi, I'm Adrian. I think we made more money. Our balance went up in the last year based on the Treasurer's report. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've got 64,000 at the
Okay.
moment now.
At the moment, so
64,000.
I think we don't need the money right now. If we've got something to spend the money on and we need more money, then we can think about increasing memberships. But at the moment, I think we should focus on giving some more services back to members. And if we then find we need more money, then up the pricing. I think Simon's point about we've only got 10% of the amateur beekeepers currently as members of the society is a valid point.
Yep.
So I intend to vote against the motion.
Yep. And it's 36 families.
36 families.
I understand what you're saying, Adrian. I think of those families we had very few young people in the family memberships. At one stage earlier this year, we had 5 adults on a family membership, which was against our rules. So it's not that we're excluding juniors. I think people were getting a good deal by, hiring up their whoever goes onto a family membership. But saying that, I agree with Adrian, but for equality across the board, then I suggest we should drop the individual membership back down, because why should the individuals have a
Separate motion, we have to vote on
Yeah.
this one first.
yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just saying yes, but it's about equality for me.
Thank you.
Trish, should we just vote? We getting
Yep.
time yet?
We can. All right.
So the motion's there, so we just have to vote.
I guess, yeah.
Yes.
Is someone to count the votes? Or?
Sandra, could you come back at the front, please? We'll just do a bit of a vote here. So who would be for, perhaps? Who would be for increasing the management, increasing the family membership from 100 to 115? Could you put your hands up if you're for the motion? There's and I have 6, so 19 for, and those against. I think that. Yeah. I've got 10, 17. So yes, so the against 1917. Yes. So at this stage, there's a new committee. They could, yes, 19-4. Oh, 19-4 and 17 against. 19-4 and 7. Okay. So it's carried. It's carried. Sorry, I've got the wrong one way around. All right. Thank you, everyone. And the time frame in that motion. Yes, it's in that motion. Lovely. Thank you.
Just increase.
All right. The member jungle overview. Introduction to logging in, logging on.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'll give it to Aphrodite and I'll put it up there on the screen.
All right. And using member jungle for logging.
Thank you. Ready?
Then up there, the
You want
lectern,
me?
Yep.
Okay.
podium, lectern, whatever.
Hello, everyone. So what Simon and I have decided we can do tonight is walk you through the process of logging on to Member Jungle from your computer at home. Now, start by logging out. I can, if you can't read it, I can read out what there is there. Oh, there we go. How's that? Is that better? Okay. So the username is your first name underscore surname. Now, obviously, Simon, for this exercise, has created an account so that we can run through it so no personal details are exposed. So the account, yeah. So once your username is in, then you have to create a password and obviously remember it. And passwords these days need to be uppercase, lowercase, numeral, character, at least 8 characters. Maybe 10 is better. 16. Okay, start writing them down somewhere encrypted if you have to. So once you've logged in, this is what you'll see. So firstly, across the top, hello, what happened?
Oh, sorry. I'm just.
Okay, so across the top you'll see a blue band and each one of those has a drop down menu. So from the first one, we'll just go through them all. We've got beekeeping in South Australia and that will take you to that information. No, you're going to just run through. Okay, so this is the list of things you can see in the drop down menu. So beekeeping in South Australia, how can I help the bees? Bee friendly gardening, the Flow Club program, honey, pests and diseases, beekeeping tips and tricks, beekeeping links. Oh, yes, it's one, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Cool. Over to society information. Okay, document library. Now, what are you going to put in the document library? That's our.
I'll maybe show that one. So
Please.
this is where we can find all of there's all these different categories. So the annual reports.
Yes.
So there's the Saviac report. We haven't put in the treasurer or president one yet.
But this is where you'll find all the documents that are generated from the
different
society.
Agendas and minutes.
Yep, agendas, meetings, general meetings, agency,
code of conduct,
all official documentation. Yep.
Constitutions and bylaws.
Yep. Constitution.
I haven't. This is the one before putting that final amendment. I haven't put.
Yep. So obviously it's an active thing and things will get updated as they need to be.
The different finance reports.
Your financial reports.
So official forms like proxy forms and election.
The new forms that are created.
Member insurance.
Yep, all the
certificate
there as well.
So if you just go and click on that.
Yep, you can open these links.
And
now
the library is the okay. Well,
no, not that one. That's going to get removed.
Yeah.
Delete it.
Okay.
Pretend you saw that one.
Okay, we'll delete.
We'll go back up to society information. So the second link. Here we go. So that's where we were. And then there is about the BSSA membership, and then again, in some of them you will have a side menu that opens up as well to give you more links in that under that one category. So again, it's just step to the right. Insurance has its own page. Our Facebook presence is on the next link there. Newsletters and news.
That's not really used, I don't think, is it?
Yeah, it's used. We've got information about Varroa training and
okay.
other things that are in there as well, so that will keep being updated as well. Mentoring, as you know, we've got mentoring groups, patrons, that's where Sophie Thompson's information is. Those that want to host a hive, we'll go to the second to last link, and then if those that wish to donate. Across to events, obviously. Field days, monthly meetings, classes and volunteering are all under the events tab. And then we have a swarm tab page with swarm collectors. The contact is literally a link to type in an information request that would be emailed to opposite bees. And then the members area. Now with resources to borrow, this is the newer section that Pam and I have been working on. So books to borrow. And what we've done is we've given you some information, we've given you the categories. There are tabs in yellow that later break it down. We've included the equipment there as well. And then we've actually added, let me see, 98 books so far, Pam? Yeah, so we're working our way through it. So we started with the most current books first, and we've given you a image of the front cover, and then you click on that image of that front cover. There we go. if you scroll down, it gives you information about the author, where it was, which country it was published, who published it, ISBN number, the price of the book that we paid for it, a summary of the information, just to give you a bit of an idea of what the book covers. And now where is, no, Simon, just scroll up a little bit so that we can see the quantity. Move the page up or scroll down, I suppose is the best way to describe it. There we go, stop there. Where it says quantity 1, in some cases we have multiple copies of some books. So what we ask you to do is, if you wish to borrow a book, while it's not an active library catalogue, it does allow for you to add the item to the cart. That then sends an email to us, and that email goes to whoever's looking after the library. Yep. And then what we can do then is try and have the book ready for you for when you attend the next meeting. It should be there ready for you. Obviously, if the book is already out on loan, we'll communicate that to you. But generally speaking, what we're saying is you can book a book in advance, have it here ready for you. If you don't pick it up at that meeting, then we will allow someone else to borrow it. But if you are here at the next meeting, you can pick it up and have it for a month loan. Okay? And then we will be updating in the background how many copies available. So obviously, if there are no copies available, it will reflect that there is a zero quantity. So that will be something that you'll get used to seeing. Loan equipment is there as well, and that is a little, yep, go to the front, yeah, there you go. And an email is generated from that to the office at Bees again, and that information go to whoever's looking after the equipment, because the equipment's looked after by 3 different locations. Thanks, Trish. So they will negotiate with you and directly email you to work out when and how you can pick it up. Okay, so it's not a lot different from what it was before, but yes, you'd still add it to the cart. That will generate an email. Obviously, the person who's looking after Officer B's email will contact you and take it from there. What else do you want to look at? That's it. Has anyone got any questions? That's it. Simple. Cool.
A lot of work.
Okay, back to Trish.
I'm glad I haven't been on any of these committees. It's all just too far above my head. We've got very, very good people that have been able to get all this stuff done. Very thankful for them. Member insurance, Bob, the one you've all been waiting for.
Okay, insurance. Currently, we are talking to 2 companies, LCIS, Local Community Insurance Scheme, and Aon. And I don't know what Aon stands for, but LCIS is our current insurer, and they've come back to us again and said they're interested in our business this year. On the same day that they got back to us, Aon initiated a reply to me and said that they were interested. Could I fill out the spreadsheet with the details of what was required? So rather than send them last year's listing of members and the hives, it now necessitates for both insurers, LCIS and Aon, both require a new or an upgraded list of member names and number of hives. And Simon has initiated a letter which went out today, and it advises people of that very fact, that that's what we want. Please register your intention, choose whichever category you fit in between the categories of 1 to 19, 20 to 49, 50 to 99, or 100 to 120. And because of the urgency, as you know, or you may not know, this policy expires on the 31st of August. So I am prepared to ask for a period of extension on that policy. But at this point in time, we are asking members to be urgent with the response. We've even listed the urgency as Wednesday the 13th, which is only 2 days away. I will be trying to communicate with both insurers on Friday the 15th, if I can give them numbers, names, and numbers of hives.
Bob, I've just got it up there, so I'll
Yep.
show them how to do it. Yeah. So on the login, go to events, it's there, or the link is in the email. If you want, register your interest, and if you got that many hives, and just get a free yep, and then we'll add all them up and give that to so the insurers know ballpark figures of how many we're trying to insure to give us a quote.
Yep. And if anybody has any difficulty, please communicate with me or opposite these with an email with your name and number of hives. I already have another member who has contacted me. They saw the initial letter on the website and didn't know the process of going through there. And so they've already contacted me with name, number of hives. So I've come along tonight. If you want to fill out your name on a listing, I've got a blank sheet for people to give their expression of interest tonight. Once we have the names and the numbers of hives, we will then go back to the insurer and get a quote. Once we've got a quote, then we'll talk to you about a price structure. Any questions? Yeah. Pardon? They need to ultimately know your name for the policy. It's a group insurance that they are offering us as a society, and so they need to know the name of the person who is virtually paying a share of the money and expecting coverage from them. Yep. I don't know. They've asked you.
I can clarify, Bob. They don't want the name. I guess we're asking for the names at ourselves here, so that we can get it. We can strip off the names and just say this many people have this many hives, and then when they give it, they want us to know all the names.
I want to know the names then. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can strip off the name and just put down the category numbers in the category. Pardon?
Yeah. Fresh. We keep moving. Someone's.
Okay. And my comment is there is urgency attached to your expression of interest, and then we'll consolidate on a price structure afterwards. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Right. Now we have another motion that the society approve the purchase of an automated external defibrillator, AED, for society's training apron at a cost not to exceed $3,500, with the purchase to be completed within 6 months of member approval. Amanda, would you like to talk for that one? Please, thank you.
I propose that would someone like to second the motion? Oh, thank you. First of all, I apologise for the disability of my voice, but I'll soldier on anyway. So I'm the project lead at the Health and Safety Committee. Tricia and Sandra being my co-workers on that. We work closely with Bob at the training committee because it's all about minimising risks where we have large fees. So tonight we want you to help us summarise maybe your life to support the purchase of an AED. So the health and safety subcommittee seeking this is a motion that's been passed by the majority support of the management committee. So we're bringing it to the members. So, as you know, in 2024, we introduced elements at the training library, mentoring groups, and big training for staff. So that was a big part of minimising risk to be safe. So tonight we want to add to the next step, which is to respond to the most serious medical emergency, which is cardiac arrest. And we just wanting to complete the chain of survival and chain of survival is early access, early CPR to buy some time. And the most important thing is early access to the defibrillator to restart the heart. And in early advanced life support by hands. Sorry about my voice. So basically, no, it's all right, it doesn't help. So basically, it's a jigsaw puzzle, and the DZ is the last part of the chain that the health and safety committee want to put in place. So next slide, please. Okay, just a few statistics. Oh no, I think yeah, one before that. Right, okay. Sudden cardiac arrest in Australia lives 30,000 a year. Now that's separate to the 59,000 heart attacks, which can themselves lead to cardiac arrest. Without a defibrillator, AED, survival chances less than 5%. Without defibrillation, for every minute that passes, the chance of survival reduces by 10%. Research shows using an AED can increase survival by up to 70%. However, an AED, early AED is important. It should be retrievable and available within 3 minutes of the cardiac arrest. SA ambulance response times are approximately 10 to 15 minutes. So we're talking about an AED for our train act. So just let those statistics sink in. This is very different than having someone trained to do CPR. Doesn't matter if we're training 10 or 20 people. We'll save money because training is less than a defibrillator. CPR doesn't restart the heart. The only thing that restarts the heart is a defibrillator. So next slide. Okay. What causes sudden cardiac arrest, which is different to a heart attack? Arrhythmias. So sudden cardiac arrest is an electrical fault in the heart. The most common one of those that people probably see on TV is extracurricular deprivation. But allergic reactions can also lead to cardiac arrest. That's why it's very important for us, even though we've got evidence, we can still have cardiac arrest with it, particularly if you have the train battery. Other things, heat, stress, dehydration, exertion, and particularly if you're back over 70, you're at high risk. Now, we know we get really hot down at the train area, our we can get dehydrated, so there's a risk of that there. Cardiac arrest can happen with no warning and in any age group. So, sorry, can you understand if you breathe maybe has a walk if you go to visit members of the public. So these are all the risk factors that say I think we need a DFib available at the train. Next slide. Okay, a little bit of legislation. So with all of that, this legislation, I'm still adamant we have to have that DFib, but so does the South Australian government. There are two bits of legislation, the AET Public Access Act 2022 and the regulations that came out in 2024. So it mandates AETs in South Australia in certain buildings, facilities and vehicles to be put out into phases. The first phase came out on the 1st of January this year, and that was all to do with buildings owned by the Crown, emergency vehicles, etc. affect us. But phase 2 comes out on the 1st of January 2026, and our training includes a facility that requires under law for us to have an AED. The section that involves us is that we're classified as a facility for health and well-being that takes place and involves physical exertion. So it comes sort of under the prescribes a branch of prescribes what's called. The other thing is that we provide skills training. So if you vote on it tonight or not, but the 1st of January 2026, if we don't have one, the government may fine us $20,000. Okay. Do I have it up slide? Therefore, is there anybody who'd like to speak against the motion?
Thanks. I'm not sure how many people had a look at the agenda that was sent out. So I've got an amended motion here, just changing it that the incoming committee be tasked with conducting and reporting to members by the 1st of November a full assessment of our obligation under this new Act, and of the practical requirements of installing and maintaining it at Tonsley. And I'm also wondering if the Act would also trigger the regional mentor groups if it's needed. And so if it needs to be a mobile one or one that's fitted in a weatherproof thing. So yeah, I just haven't seen anything really written on it. It's only just I guess.
It says in here, Crown owns buildings, emergency service vehicles, schools, libraries and large public venues. Phase 2, January 1st, 26, public transport, universities, safes, theatres, swimming pools, community centres and other publicly accessible buildings. it talks nothing about, then it goes on to talk about specific buildings, includes commercial buildings with a floor area of 600 square metres. There's nothing in here about small organisations such as ours.
I think it's,
So
it's the act.
that's the Act of Australia coming into place in January 1st.
Yeah, that's the have a look at the regulation. Because it outlines two points I have.
Adrian. Simon, I'm not sure whether you're proposing to amend Amanda's motion or proposing an alternate motion.
An alternate, yes.
Yeah, okay. If you're proposing an alternate motion, then I think you should say whether or not you support Amanda's motion, and we should vote on Amanda's motion, and then we vote on your motion. Because I think I wasn't clear whether you're proposing to amend Amanda's motion or proposing an alternate.
I guess I don't support a blank check for $3,500 without any looking into making sure that what we buy will satisfy. Yeah.
Okay. So that's your position.
Yeah.
And I'd suggest then, Chair, you just see if there's anybody else wants to talk to Amanda's motion.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else want to talk to Amanda's motion?
I think that gentleman over there is yes. Your point was deep relevant to Amanda's motion. So
He's right now.
Yeah, well, I can read all the legislation. I've just gone through what I could quickly find, and there's nothing in there that says we have to have one. Well, it talks specifically about government-owned buildings. Yeah, it talks specifically about government-owned buildings on January 1st, schools, universities, and it's mostly large public buildings. I don't see that we will qualify. Not saying it's a bad idea, I'm just saying that I don't believe it's a legal requirement.
We have gone for a lot of grants or looked at getting a lot of grants, but we haven't. Yeah, just start getting more.
Can I just say? Yeah, because we don't own, we can't under this government because we don't own the land papers on, that excludes us. So we've subscribed, we've done alerts, and we have done that since August, and some committee gave us until March this year to try and find a grant, but we couldn't. Simon, do you just want to go through your other points you have there?
Yeah, I guess the other points are really on the whether it needs to be a mobile one or a fixed one, or weatherproof, or what the ongoing expenses are, whether we need permission for the landlords, or if we need to have a fully weatherproof one with an alarm on it or something. If it needs electricity to be ran to it, whether it needs mains power. This is one of the problems that we run into with the wax dipper. Getting the wax dipper, then we found out we had to connect 3-phase power and all sorts of things to it, and insurance for doing it. And yeah, the committee hasn't seen any sort of reports or anything written on it, so that's just my concern. So it's just, and I'm just saying, can the committee, look, and try,
Yeah, can I? I just like it, right, to reply to all Simon's questions. If we go back to number 1. Okay. We've covered that one off. The next one, what time? With the Health and Safety Committee, and we can, we have expertise in this, and I can answer all your questions for the membership now. Right. No, they're not required for regional mentor groups. The most appropriate time then for our needs. Obviously, it's got to be TGA approved. I'm suggesting fully automatic as opposed to semi-automatic, because you don't have to push a button, and it reduces time to for a shot, which is important. We that have or rated cabinet because speaking to Bob, who is going to negotiate with landlord, there's a shed very close to the apiary that's on the property that we have sometimes had elections in. We're thinking that will be visible, secure, and placed within 30 seconds from the apiary. So I think what was happy to negotiate the place. The AED that we're looking at, it's got a durable for environments. We are looking at one that I think Suzanne is obviously for discussion. It has a 7-year warranty. I'm thinking the Zoll AED Plus probably best suits our needs, but obviously that will go to the committee and people with expertise. The the Zoll has all defects you can do for pediatrics and adults. The Zoll, some of them have a button that you can actually use the same pads but just switch from pediatric to adult, so you don't have to purchase more pads. But talking to Bob, the adult pads will go to down to an 8-year-old. Our EpiPens are 300 micrograms, and that's a 20-year-old, 7 to 8-year-old child. So we don't think we need the expense of purchasing pediatric pads for the customers we get through. The outdoor waterproof cabinet, the installation, the cabinet has no alarm. We're up to ongoing costs. Okay, so the ones that we're looking at for the APRI, we're choosing that supports long life consumables. So nowadays you can get a 5-year battery and a 5-year pad life, which is much lower the cost from the current 2-year ones. The battery, for what we're looking at, lithium batteries are $101 each. And last 5 years, the adult pads are $175 for the pads. Best practice is to have 2 sets. Servicing after and replenishment. AEDs don't need to be serviced. They need to be monitored as monthly checks and monitored at your pad life expiry. Mains power, no, we need no mains power cabinets. The alarm is a non-fault battery, so not mains power ever. And under the legislation, we've got a 36 square metre acreage, so a requirement would only have to be for 1 acre. So that's answering some of those questions. We've done it. The first field day is in August. We don't see what we should be doing. September, yes. What's going to be for September? The Health and Safety Committee would like to get this moving along, as I'm sure would, and have it there for you. So I'll put that to you.
Maybe it's best.
Move to a vote, please.
Yeah, just move to a vote. Yeah,
I suggest
I was going to.
I think in the interest, you do it better than Christopher.
Sorry, in the interest of time, I'm sorry, can we just move to a vote on Amanda's motion over?
Over. I like that.
Okay, just go to a vote.
Thank you. All right. Sandra, could you come back? Sandra, could you come back down again? So who is in favour, please, of the purchase of the AED Society's training APRI? If you're in favour, could you put your hands up, please? 9, 19. Oh, 10 starting you, yeah, and I have, so that's 19 for approving the purchase. Those against? And I've got 4, so 9. So we approve that the motion is carried. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Ah, yes.
I had my hand up and I wanted to speak.
Oh, yes.
Adrian, we needed to move it along, but you,
I don't know if our members listened to the treasurer report where we said, think about what you're voting for. Because you've now voted for 10% of next year's budget on something that we were just given general information, not specific for our society. And I didn't get an opportunity to speak. So yeah, sorry, now I've had my say. I just ask them to really think about what you're doing.
I forgot it was that. This year, at phase 1, in our member approved budget, we had $2,640 for training, and we only used 880, so we've got 1,760 to go towards it. So it won't be 10% of our next year's budget. But what does a life cost?
All right. Okay, thank you. All right, election of committee, please, Adrian.
Yeah, my slides.
Yep.
Just bear with me a second. I think Simon's just swapping over to the slides. My name's Adrian Akrofsky. Tricia asked me to run the elections. I'm not standing for any committee position. Quickly get through the elections as quickly as possible, noting current time. I prepared the slide over the weekend. I think there's probably one clarification. Well, Susan, you're running for vice president only, not for president. Okay, so that's not reflected on the slides. So I hold one proxy. Aphrodite, you've got a proxy for Trevor Greenfield, is that correct? Are there any other proxies? No? Okay. I'd like to check that we've got a quorum. We need at least 40 people in order to be able to hold this vote. In fact, we need to have a quorum to vote on anything tonight. So could I have you want to raise your hand if you are a member, please? So I'm going to count. Keep your hand up. Paid up member 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So I'm going to ask again, could you please raise your hands again if you're a member? Right. You do that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, we do not have a quorum for this evening to be able to transact business on the society. Correct. All previous votes have to be declared invalid because we do not have a quorum to transact ordinary business. We're getting to reschedule the AGM. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Adrian. All right. So the next meeting have to be the AGM again. Is that the way it works? Yes. So the next meeting. Oh, Adrian's going. All right. Could we just have the raffle then, please?